Hey homies, have you ever tried to make a YouTube video on your channel that you definitely have? And there's like a certain video you want to make, but you don't know like what topic to put it into? Listen, we've all been there. All of us YouTubers watching this have been there. When I make a video about one of these animators, I try to keep a theme. I try to keep a theme going. Like, what is it? Is it school stories, kids stories, work stories, teacher stories, parent stories, Yoshi stories, stories of unfortunate events? Bruh. But then there's videos from these people that I desperately want to watch, but that I never can because I don't fit into any of these categories. And so today we are checking out the Odd Ones Out, James, the legend, James and the Giant Ones Out, and we are going to check out some of his hidden gems. That's right, legendary classics that for some reason I haven't seen. But they're a little hidden. They're a little off the beaten path. The Indestructable Piñata. My cardboard boat racing experience. My traumatizing haunted house experience. We are going to check out these strange, random videos that don't fit in another video. And before we check these out, you know, if you're not subscribed to James and you're watching this video, don't do your boy like that. Subscribe to James. Boop his like buttons as well as this one. Are you ready to have a good time? I'm ready to have a good time. I watermelon shirted up to let you know it's serious. We ain't playing out here, man. All right, okay. Here we go, people. RobertIDK TheOdd1sOut. 1, 2, 3, theme song.
Sometimes I feel like the odd one out. No one knows what I'm talking about. So I just go and take a trip to Subway. Some things may keep me awake at night. Board games, my awful roommates and life. So I'll recline and go online. And with the odd ones out, I'll laugh a million times.
And now here's something we hope you'll really like. My cardboard boat racing experience. Drink some water, people. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
What's in the box? I said, what's in the box? I said, what's in the box?
Okay, what is it? Cardboard boat?
I can make a great boat out of this. So this one time when I was in the 3rd grade, for some reason our teacher thought it would be a good idea to get his entire class to participate in a cardboard boat race.
Wait a minute, real quick. Is this from a period of time where James was memeing about his bad spelling abilities? I'm assuming he was memeing about his bad spelling abilities, or he was just like, you know what, screw it, I'ma live with this and just whatever I write is what you gonna read. If so, brave, my champion, my king. I respect it.
So this one time when I was in the 3rd grade, for some reason our teacher thought it would be a good idea to get his entire class to participate in a cardboard boat race. Cardboard boat racing is this event where teams of people build their own boats out of cardboard and then race against other people's cardboard boats. Now, You might be thinking that cardboard really isn't the best material to make a boat out of. And you're right, but cardboard is cheap, you can get big pieces of it, and they float in the water for a little bit. Perfect for making boats out of. It's good, short-lived entertainment.
Real boats?
It's yachts of fun. Apparently, a lot of other schools got their students to do cardboard boat racing. I thought it was just a strange thing my teacher made us do. But if other teachers did it, I guess he wasn't the only weirdo.
Okay, so let's pause on this picture real quick. So this is a real boat that a real dude goes into. Wow. I mean, yeah. I mean, cardboard is pretty not boat material, isn't it? But I mean, you could make a decent excuse for it if it's like a little fake sailboat, but we're talking real boats that people go into. This is intense. All right, here we go. Hashtag real boats, I guess.
I don't know what cardboard boat racing is supposed to teach you. Maybe teamwork skills and shipbuilding. I mean, it would come in handy if I was stranded on an island with cardboard and duct tape and I could tell everyone, don't worry guys, I learned how to make boats out of these things in the 3rd grade. But no one else in my school did cardboard boat racing. It was just my class. And I think part of the reason we did this was because the class I was in was an honors class.
Oh no!
We were better than everyone else.
Oh no! One of those classes where because it's the smart class, they're like, we have to make this different. You know, forget just teaching the same thing but at a different level. We have to do a grand gesture because we're an honors class. I experienced that many times because I was in the gifted class. We had to do so much dumb, stupid extra stuff because we had to prove that we were better. I don't know, but my introverted self, I didn't want to do anything extra. I'm extra enough as it is, homies, okay?
Was an honors class. So we were better than everyone else. Guys, I need to tell you about how friggin' smart I am. Ooh. So in the 2nd grade, everyone took this test to see if you would get put into the honors class, which, I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember taking it. I just remember my mom sitting me and my twin sister down and telling us that we weren't gonna be in the same class anymore because I made it into the honors classes and my sister didn't.
Oh, wow.
Loser. The honors program was called DOGS, which stood for Dang.
Oh, gosh, smart. Okay, that's how I would do it. That's how I would do it. Let's see how James approached it.
Dang. Original gangsta students. Okay, that's not actually the name. I made that up. If you got accepted into DOGS, you stayed in the DOGS program for the rest of elementary school.
You have to, though?
So I basically had the same kids in my class for 5 school years.
You have
and our
to?
class became known as the DOGS kids.
Ooh,
I think since I was in the DOGS
for all the
program,
dogs.
I wasn't bullied nearly as much as I should have been, because everyone in my class was a huge nerd. Also, I never really learned how to interact with people socially, because I already knew everyone in my class.
Okay, yay. Actually, I'm so excited about this. I can relate to so much of this story. Cool. I'll take a moment to talk about that. Being in the special class, like the honors gifted whatever class, which I was in at my school. First of all, did James not have a choice? Did his parents just decide for him? Because I remember when I was in grade 4 and I got identified as gifted, I didn't have to go to the gifted school. I didn't have to. I could have stayed with all my existing friends. But in my mind, I was just like, I'm supposed to do this because not everyone gets to do this. But I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have done it. Looking back, I shouldn't have done it. My original school was so good. I would probably be less weird if I stayed at my normal school. Actually, guys, you're welcome.
Also, I never really learned how to interact with people socially because I already knew everyone in my class. So all the dogs were cool with each other, but all the non-dogs hated us. They thought that us dogs thought that we were so much better than them. And we were. Now, call me old-fashioned, but
James, okay, sorry, I have to interject one more time. You identifying that is what gives us a bad name and makes people be like, oh, they think they're so smart. It's like, I don't think I'm smart, dude. I'm smart at whatever I needed to be for that test. That doesn't mean I'm, like, smart. And so, yes, all of the non-gifted kids were like, oh, they think they're so smart. No, I don't. No, I don't. But James saying this here is going to perpetuate that stereotype and make people not like us. James, don't do that!
And we were. Now, call me old-fashioned, but I think the 3rd grade is a little too soon to tell if you're smart or not. I would say that the DOGS program did not make me a smarter person. I don't speak for everyone, this was just my experience, but in high school, my twin sister was a way better student. High school didn't have the DOGS program, so me and my sister were in the same classes again, and she was a straight A student while I was about a straight B and C student. So all the math I've learned is telling me that something's not adding up. It probably had nothing to do with being in the honors program in elementary school. I probably just procrastinated a lot in high school. Okay, now let's get back to the actual topic of the video. Leading up to the event, the teacher wanted us to stay after school to help make the boats, and I, being the loyal dog that I was, stayed after school exactly 0 times.
Yay!
Sorry, dudes, I take the bus home, and last time I missed the bus, my mom got mad at me and I cried. She had to pick me up. So actually, if I was deserted on an island, I wouldn't be much help. I would have to get my mom to pick me up.
Mom, can you pick me up?
This event was at a medium-sized man-made lake in Arizona because we don't have real lakes, they're all man-made. And it was right next to a college, and a lot of college kids like to get nursed there. We ended up making 2 boats.
Man-made lake? Man-made lake? I've never experienced a man-made lake. No way. No way. Beautiful lakes you won't believe are man-made. Okay, well, if that's Lake St. Louis, I don't think it's man-made, but let's check it out. All right, no Canada. Canada. Okay, Abraham Lake. I don't know that one anyways. As long as the homie Lake Louise is intact and real, then we good. Y'all can make your lakes. I'ma keep my real ones that I don't live anywhere near anymore.
We ended up making 2 boats. One was white and one was blue with a dragon head at the front and a tail in the back, and they both could hold 10 people. There wasn't enough room for everyone in the class to get a spot on the boat, and the kids who actually helped build it got a reserved seat. But since I was a scrawny white boy that didn't take up much space, I got to sit in the very front because they were the coolest and smallest seats. The person who I sat next to was this girl named Priscilla. I still keep in contact with her, and I asked if I could say her name in this video, and she said yes. Later in life, she was the first girl to ever slap me. I didn't ask permission to tell that story. While we were waiting for our turn to race, my dad got me a snow cone, and that snow cone was the very first time I remember getting a brain freeze. It hurts to eat this. Yeah, They do that. It's our turn.
You know, I've never had a brain freeze in my entire life. Just so you know, I've never had a brain freeze. I get throat freezes, which are like immobilizing, but I never have pain upstairs. I never get that. That's pretty cool, I guess.
When it was our turn, we rowed the boat out and we actually stayed afloat. I mean, it was only a couple inches away from sinking, but it worked. My mom told me beforehand that if the boat sunk, I should kick off my shoes because that would weigh me down and I would drown. Thanks for the vote of confidence,
that's
Mom.
terrifying.
And I remember being so afraid of the boat sinking. Not because I could drown, but because I didn't want to lose my shoes. So there we were, a bunch of 8-year-olds in a glorified cardboard box on a lake with 3 other boxes filled with drunk college students. The course we had to take was pretty simple. It only had 2 left turns. Should have been a piece of cake. And we were doing pretty good. Until we had to make the first left turn. We messed up on that part. We practiced turning on land all the time, but for some reason when we were in the water, our turning maneuver wasn't working. We kind of just drifted forward. We were pretty much all stranded. We didn't know how to drive this thing, and we were running out of time since the cardboard doesn't last that long when it's—
That's crazy, dude. That's so crazy. Do they not wear life vests? The way he's saying this, they aren't wearing life vests. What? Why? What? A cardboard? I wouldn't go out there on a paddleboard without a life vest on. Why would you go on a cardboard boat with no life vest? Guys, cautionary tale here. Wear a life jacket, please.
And we were running out of time since the cardboard doesn't last that long when it's wet. But there were these lifeguards/helper people going around in canoes, and one person came up to our boat and he just kind of pushed it with his paddle and turned the boat, and we were back in the race. Okay. Well, actually, by this point—
Then why would they sink if they have life jackets? Sorry, that part's James's mom's fault. She was saying they'd sink. Okay. It's okay. We all make mistakes.
Squidward, you're making a big mistake!
Steak? Ha! The only mistake I ever made was wasting my life at the Krusty Ha!
And we were back in the race. Well, actually, by this point, everyone else had already completed the course. But we were still floating. We were still gonna finish this. When it came time for the second turn, the same thing happened. No! We didn't learn anything. They never taught us this in honors classes. By this point, the next 4 people racing just went. They got tired of waiting. And while the canoe boat guy was trying to teach us how to turn, the other boats just passed us. Eventually, we did get the turning thing down, and we made it back to shore. The boat stayed up the entire time. Out of the 4 people we raced against, we came in 8th. I kinda wish something bad did happen, like the boat flipped over or a shark ate one of the kids. That would have been a better YouTube video. But that also would have been lying.
You know what we say about that. You know what we say about that. Real talk though, homies. Should I sell these hats? I've just been using this hat as a prop that I made for myself, but should I put them on the store? If you want me to put them on the store. Hello, Editing Robert here. Yeah, I filmed this video like a week ago. These hats, they're out. They're out. They're on the store. If you want to get one of these silly hats, robertidk.net, link is in the description. I'll try to put a link at the end. I'm really bad at like YouTube, so I don't put links for products properly. If you want it, it's up. And if you want to save some extra money, you can pick up something else while you're there, like a Rats Are Friends shirt or the dumbest shirt of all time. I actually just applied this promo code. This used to just be for the muffin merch, but this code now works for every product. So if you order 2 products and are spending more than $45, you will get $5 off of your order. So if you buy like the mouse pad and then the new hat, or just basically any 2 items, yeah, just type in promo code muffin and you'll get $5 off. Okay, cool. Love you, bye.
And then afterwards, the president came down and high-fived all of us. And to prove I'm not lying, here's some pictures of me in front of the boat. We had to take the dragon head off because it didn't fit with all of us, but we kept the tail. And you'll also notice how cramped the seats are, and the girl who later on slaps me. Here's a boat with a roof. Here's a picture of the snow cone that gave me my first brain freeze. Here's us in the water next to a pretty big boat. And look, our other white boat is getting blocked off by the bigger boat. Notice how our boat is going in the wrong direction and how close we are to being submerged. And here's a picture of the grown-ups carrying the boat out of the water after a long day. And I'm not in this picture. I wanted to get to land as soon as possible. Here's a picture of me during Halloween. I dressed up as a ninja. I think it was the Halloween after the bunny. And there's a plushie of a Neopet in the background. Do you guys remember Neopets?
Yes.
All my Neopets are probably dead now. Yes. Here's a picture of me with a giant pencil. It's actually a model rocket, size. But it looks like a pencil. Isn't that adorable? Remember my science fair video where I launched rockets? Yeah, this wasn't that time. This is a completely different model rocket. And here's here's me in a tub of animal plushies, and this bird plushie right here was actually my favorite. I got him from someone else's birthday. It was in a goodie bag. It was a pirate-themed birthday, so it was like, you know, a little tiny parrot.
Okay, this video took a turn. This video took a real turn. I didn't know this was James's slideshow. James's silly childhood slides. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm interested. I had a container exactly like this with all of my plushies when I was a kid, but we didn't call them plushies. We called them stuffed animals. Is plushie now considered like a cooler word, so people would rather say plushie than stuffed animal? I always said stuffed animal. I think actually stuffed animal is a weird word. That's probably not the... You know what? I'm switching to plushie. Stuffed animal is kind of weird, dude. But you know what I should put out? A stuffed animal.
So it was like, you know, a little tiny parrot. I really liked that bird. His name was Birdie, and now he's gone. And here's me dressed up as Galileo.
I still truly do not understand why they would put a bunch of kids at that age on a cardboard boat. I thought James was like 16 in this story until he showed the pictures. It's like, you're just throwing a bunch of children into a boat on open water made of cardboard. That's the important part, is the cardboard. I don't know, dude. All I'm saying.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Okay. Keeping it going fast. The Indestructible Piñata. We ain't stopping. We're crushing it. And if you ain't got it by now, then you just ain't getting it.
Piñatas. I love piñatas. It's perfect for when you want to beat something to death, but also want candy. Why do they make it look so pretty? Most of the time when you're playing with it, it looks like this.
What the, Alex, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
I just wanted to know what it would feel like to have 1 billion subscribers.
No, get out. Go back to It's Alex Clark and wait your turn.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Don't come back unless you have cake.
I have had requests to look at his stuff. That is a channel that people have requested over time. And there you go, I just did. So I hope you're happy. Congratulations.
Piñatas.
Yeah.
Here's a story that involved me when I was a first grader in a piñata. I don't know if any of you guys did this in your elementary school, but when it was someone's birthday, that kid would bring treats for the whole class. And then the whole class would take 10 minutes, stop everything they're doing, and then pass out the pastries to everyone. How come we don't do that anymore? In high school, depending on the teacher, they don't do anything for your birthday party. And in college,
Nope.
Heck, no one
knows it's your birthday.
So I have a twin sister, and we were in the first grade together. So when it came time for our birthdays, we had to celebrate 2 birthdays. It's double birthdays. We gotta do something extra special. My mom had an idea. Let's do a piñata. But since my mom is super cheap, she decided to make her own piñata out of paper mache. And it turns out making homemade piñatas are easy. All you gotta do is blow up a balloon, cover it in paper mache, wait for it to harden, pop the balloon inside, cut a hole open, fill it with candy, cover the hole back up with paper mache, paint it, and then beat it senseless.
Oh man, James hit us with the stealth. He hit us with the stealth. He was capping on the low, is what I'm saying.
Making homemade piñatas are easy.
Very convincing, James. You are a seasoned capper, I can tell.
Simple. So my mom went above and beyond and made a sphere piñata for our entire first grade class. Wow. Me and my sister's birthday is towards the end of the school year. And in elementary school, that last week of school, like, you don't even do anything. It doesn't even count. So hopefully my teacher wasn't too mad at what was about to transpire. My sister and I were just pumped the whole school day because we helped build the piñata. Yeah. We helped paint it, and now we're gonna help beat it to pieces. Yeah. The teacher eventually called out,
"All right, class, James's mom made us a piñata, so we're all gonna go outside and whack it."
Oh, yes, this was perfect. It was our birthday. We got to beat up a piñata at school. I have the best mom. Me and my sister got to swing first because we're the birthday boys. We didn't end up breaking it, but I wasn't mad. Let these other non-birthday people have some fun. I'm a generous guy. Hey, in the end, I just want the candy. So the next guy goes up, then the next, then the next.
You got to share.
And then
it,
eventually everyone got a turn.
No one popped it.
Piñata's supposed to break, ain't it? Apparently, my mom was a little precautious and put a few extra layers of paper mache in the piñata, so that way, everyone would get a turn.
Oh! Yay! Has everyone had a turn? Okay. Comes up with the box cutter. Good job, guys. Wait a minute. You promised a piñata that we were supposed to be able to break! How dare you give us a piñata and don't let me and the homies do the smash.
What did he?
You know what that mom was doing? Y'all already know. Y'all already know. It's true. Y'all already know.
Turn, yay! And apparently she also overestimated the strength of paper mache and first graders. But did this teacher let the whole class down? No. You know what she did? Bless her soul. She said,
"All right, class, we're all gonna take turns throwing this against a curb."
I mean, what other option did this teacher have? She could have stabbed it, but I don't think that would have been very fun. Looking back, she might have just been wanting to speed up the process, but as a group of 7-year-olds, we had a blast. Also, I'm glad the piñata was not in the shape of an animal, because imagine how traumatizing that would have been as 7-year-olds to curb stomp a unicorn.
Yeah.
We would have been like little tiny mob bosses. All right, Tony, you ready to give up the candy? Such a shame you feel that way, Tony. Bruce? I'm glad my mom was so thoughtful putting all those layers of paper mache in the piñata, because we all got a turn throwing the piñata on the ground. I remember getting so into it. I remember jumping up in the air before smashing the piñata onto the pavement. Nothing was going to get in between me and whatever candy was in there. Pretty soon, though, we were all getting pretty antsy. Everyone was like, I was promised there'd be candy. Eventually, after what felt like an eternity of beating this piñata into the ground, we got a rip.
I say we let it rip.
Okay, fine.
I don't know if you guys saw the first episode of The Walking Dead. It's actually the only episode I've ever seen. And there's a scene in the first episode where the zombies rip open a horse and eat its organs. Well, that was pretty much what it looked like after we got a rip in the piñata. I don't remember what candy was in there, but hopefully it was worth it.
True. As an avid Walking Dead viewer, I'd love to talk about that scene for a bit, but I will not. That's probably something I shouldn't discuss on this channel. But yes, I've seen it. I have definitely seen that. But hey, the show gets a lot more gruesome than that. It gets a lot worse.
Hopefully it was worth it. And that was probably the best and worst piñata I ever broke. Have any of you guys ever curb stomped a piñata that your mom made for you in the first grade?
No. And you know what else I haven't done? Been to a haunted house.
I wanted to make this video about 6 months ago, but then I thought, no, I'll save it for Halloween because of theming or whatever. I don't know. Shut up, I don't have to explain myself. I'm excited to tell you this story.
Yeah!
So, haunted houses. I think haunted houses, they're fine, but I don't want to brag or anything, but since the age of 16, I've never been in a haunted house that I was scared of. Granted, all the haunted houses I've been in were free and didn't have me sign a waiver, and when I was little, sure, I was terrified of haunted houses. It's just, I don't know, I think I kept telling myself that none of it was real, and then when I grew up, I just always knew that none of it was real.
Wow, there's no such thing as clowns. It's the subtleties, James, it's the subtleties. It's these little things that just keep me coming back for more. I honestly think James may be the best writer in the history of YouTube storytime animation. Genuinely, I think he may be the best writer to ever do it. Anyways, yeah, haunted houses. I am very impressed or jealous. Yeah, jealous that you're not spooked by the haunted house. I don't go to haunted house. I do not do it, homie. I do not do it. I am good. No haunted house for me, thanks. Yeah, I'm gonna stay in the non-haunted house. I think that one works for me personally. I think the non-haunted. Yeah, I'll do non-haunted. Yeah, okay, non-haunted, yeah.
That none of it was real. And then when I grew up, I just always knew that none of it was real. When you can see the severed hand is made of plastic, all the tension you previously had is kinda lost. And sure, I still get startled at the jump scares, but since they don't stab you or anything, it's always awkward afterwards.
Yeah, why don't they do that anymore?
I'm just gonna walk this way now. Or maybe I don't get scared because I don't feel emotions anymore. Who knows? But there's one haunted house experience during my senior year of high school that I will never forget because it was probably one of the most traumatizing things I've ever seen. I haven't seen that many traumatizing things. And also, I won't forget it because I'm about to immortalize the experience by making a YouTube video about it.
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you.
My senior year, I was part of my school's drama club. I was a theater kid. And the clubs at the school got to help do some of the activities for the school's fair. The whole school is putting on a fair, probably to raise money or something. It seems that schools are always in need of some extra cash. Have you ever noticed that? So the football team got to do the dunk tank, the band kids, like, face painted or something, I don't remember, it's not important. And the theater kids, since the fair is in October and that's Halloween's month, we got to put on a haunted house.
Nice.
Cool. The drama club was separated into groups, and we would each be a scary part in the haunted house. And we got to make the haunted house inside the school. So we had a lot of area to work with, and there was a lot of space in between each scary thing. My group, what we did is we dressed up as vampires, but scary vampires, and we sat at this dinner table and we decorated it with fake organs, goblets filled with blood, red Kool-Aid, and we had this freshman girl that was laying on top of the table. And we put fake organs coming out of her, you know, to make it look like we were eating her because vampires eat people. Okay, saying that out loud, I realize that doesn't make any sense. Why would a group of vampires be eating someone? They don't do that.
To any Darren Sean fans, save that for the Vampanese. You know what I'm saying? Save that for the Vampanese. Shout out to the 10 people who know what I'm talking about and are stoked that I made that reference. You're welcome. It's a vampire book series from the mid-2000s that I read when I was a kid, and it was like the coolest thing ever, and then I just abandoned it at book 4 because I had ADHD and I didn't want to read. And so now as an adult, like literally like 12 years later, I'm now finishing reading them for real. And they're great. They hold up. Adults can read it too. It's very gruesome for an all ages book, apparently.
We put a yellow shade over the light above for a good spoopy atmosphere. We had a smoke machine, some ambient Halloween music playing.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine.
Our group was pretty legit. Whenever a group of people walked by, we would just silently stare at them, and then the freshman on the table would scream at the top of her lungs. She was really good at screaming, by the way. And since we had so much space in between each of the scary parts, when they walked past us, we would get up and chase them. Yeah, it was fun. Okay, so you have to understand that theater kids are very loud, extroverted people.
Yes.
I need to tell you about this one kid who was in my vampire group. We'll just name him Balake. Yeah, Balake. Balake and I were both part of
It's the subtleties, James. It's the subtleties. That's where he gets me every time. Oh my gosh, I hated this boss so much. Shout out Cash Manuka. Yeah, this boss is probably like definitely the worst boss in the whole game. Absolutely could not stand it. But you know what I can stand is some spooky, scary skeletons.
Balake and I were both part of the school's improv club, so we were both pretty funny people, except Balake was just out there. He was loud. It seemed he was just always screaming. I didn't have any classes with him, but he was obviously the high self-esteem class clown kind of kid. So Balake, being the loud and more popular kid, he got to sit at the head of our table. We had done the haunted house for about 2 hours at this point, and I want you to think what it's like to go inside a haunted house. Just going in for 5 minutes, that will already make me feel uncomfortable and sweaty. All the strobe lights, the smoke, and the freshmen over here who had to be constantly screaming bloody murder.
Yo, you're welcome, all my photosensitive homies. That was a very flashing light, and I removed that, so y'all are safe with me, homies. Y'all are safe with me.
We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I.
The smoke and the freshmen over here who had to be constantly screaming bloody murder. Again, you did a good job, freshman. And we were supposed to get a break sometime in the middle, but since the haunted house was so popular, we didn't get one break. So I'm a little loopy after doing all this for so long, right? I was totally not ready for what was about to happen. This group of people walk in and we do our normal thing. We get up and we chase them, but Balake got pretty physical with this one little boy. Like he kind of shook him up a bit. And I didn't see exactly what happened, but apparently this little boy was holding a fish in a plastic baggie. You know those little tiny fish that are actually supposed to be used as food for bigger fish that you can win as prizes in fairs? And 99% of the time the fish die within 2 weeks because you don't have the right aquarium equipment. So you just put them in water and watch them slowly die. You know those fish? I didn't think people were allowed to bring their new pet fish into the haunted house, but I guess he smuggled it in or something. I didn't see the kid drop the fish. Maybe Balake slapped it out of his hands. That could have happened. I just heard a scream and I saw a fish flopping around in a puddle on the floor. Fish look like they're in so much pain when they're out of water. I don't flail around uncontrollably when I go swimming. Like, calm down, fish. I'm silently panicking because the fish looks like he's going to die in 3 seconds if we don't do something. I start thinking of places we can put the fish. The toilet. But Balake, without saying anything, just immediately bent down, cupped the tiny fish in his hands. He ran back to the table, he put the fish in an empty goblet, and then he poured red Kool-Aid into the cup. I'm just kidding. He got a water bottle.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That was a roller coaster. Guys, I am so sensitive to like topics of mistreatment of animals. That was an emotional roller coaster for me. I could not stand that. You know why? You know why that was an emotional roller coaster? I haven't done this in a while, guys. I haven't done this in a while. I just realized how difficult it is to have muffins out with this microphone. I have made a huge mistake. I'm trying something new. Rather than having the muffin, I brought the muffin home out here. So we got Andy and Felix. Andy, please stay in there. Please stay in there. Do not jump out. I will die. I will be so terrified if you do that. Please just chill. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyways, yeah, I care about animals because of my little muffins. And here are the little muffins again. I just wanted Felix out here. Let's see if I can try this. Okay, here's my little Felix. Again, this is 10 times harder using this microphone. Hello, buddy. How's it going? Can we watch some of this? Can we try?
Table because they gave us water bottles, and the fish was fine, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay.
It all happened so fast, and thanks to Balake's quick thinking, he saved this little kid's fish. The kid was still a couple of feet down the hall. Balake took the goblet in his hands, he walked it over to the kid, he reached out his hand to give the kid his fish. And then he just chugged the drink! He drank the fish! And this little kid let out the most blood-curdling...
Oh my gosh, I want to scream right now, but I'm not gonna do it because Felix is right here. I was not expecting a turn like that. Oh my gosh, I need to bring you back in before I can scream. I need to bring you back in, Felix, okay? You're such a good boy. Okay, everyone say goodbye to Felix. Okay, that is better. Ah! He drank the fish! He drank the fish! That's so much worse! I can't believe this! I can't believe this. I'm so sad. I am devastated. I never knew this fish, but I love it like it was my own.
And then he just chugged the drink! He drank the fish! And this little kid let out the most blood-curdling scream. It sounded like this kid just watched his pet get swallowed by a complete stranger.
Yes.
It was honestly the loudest scream I heard that night. I bet the next group of people behind these guys were thinking, oh man, whatever's next must be really scary to get that kid to scream like that. The kid started trying to attack Balake, and I'm sure if he had the correct tools, he would have murdered him. Balake eventually spat out the fish. He didn't swallow it, thankfully. He just kept it swimming in his mouth.
Oh my gosh, you idiot. That's not okay. Balake is a psychopath. Lock him up. I guarantee you this dude has done some insane illegal stuff as an adult. I guarantee it. That is psychopath behavior. Unbelievable. It's not even a meme. Usually I call like MSA characters psychopaths. Because they are, but this time it's serious. That's insane. By the way, if you watch the Odd Ones Out videos of mine, but you don't watch any of the My Story animated videos, those are really fun. You should definitely check them out the next time I post one.
Didn't swallow it, thankfully. He just kept it swimming in his mouth. But I mean, that's what you gotta do when you're working in a haunted house. You have to scare people any way you can. I was just a bystander, and I still wake up in a cold sweat thinking about it. Turns out this kid was actually Balake's little brother.
What?
So at least he didn't do this to a complete stranger.
The number of
you really gotta
twists.
appreciate what lengths older brothers go through to torment the little brother. Balake's little brother, you might be watching. But I was there, dude. I know what pain you go through. I have an older brother too. I know what it's like to be Luigi. I mean, he never swallowed any of my pets. He would just steal my food. He also never let me win in Super Smash Bros. Anytime I was about to win, he would turn off
the best version of Smash Bros, guys. I am not capping. No cap. This is a no cap zone. The first version of Super Smash Bros, I talked about it in the past, bros. But if you ain't got it by now, you go and get it. Super Smash Bros 1 is probably my most played video game of all time. There's probably no video game on the planet that I've spent more hours of my life playing than the original Super Smash Bros. It just hits different, dude. It just hits different.
He also never let me win in Super Smash Bros. Anytime I was about to win, he would turn off the Nintendo. But I mean, I'm fine. Look how I turned out.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it real. That was an absolutely horrifying story. And if that happened to me, I would have a very, very, very hard time dealing with the emotions from said experiences happening to me. You know what I'm saying? Balake, I'm sure you're doing some horrible things now. I also can't wait to play Super Smash Bros. With my child when I eventually have one.
Because I will also show no mercy and not let them win.
But I will not unplug the thing if they actually do start to win. And homies, we have emerged from the depths. We did the thing they said we couldn't. Watch the videos they said we wouldn't. And we have emerged on the other side. These were some hidden gems. You know what else is a hidden gem? You. You're fantastic. If you've watched this video to the end, that means you're probably pretty cool, and I like you. I really hope you have a great rest of your day. And if you're not subscribed to James's channel, here's the link right here. He and his team worked very hard on all these videos. I know back then it was just James. Worked very hard, so make sure you're supporting him. Here's the full playlist of times where we've looked at the Odd Ones Out. If you haven't seen all of these videos, check out the playlist and catch up on any that you've missed. Or here's a video that YouTube thinks you in particular will like. I'll see you here or I'll see you there. Peace out, homies.